writing in the sun. First of all, thank you very much, Ed, for deciding to be here. So welcome to Vanuatu. Vanuatu is always our home. So as a very old saying in Vanuatu, it says, anyone that decided somewhere around one angle of the world to come by himself or herself and put his feet or her feet at the edge of Vanuatu, that this is always our home in the South Pacific. A very peaceful country. Feel free to talk, feel free to ask. But there's no need to worry about maps, ask anyone around. So now, thank you very much. So now we'd like to demonstrate a custom drawing, a time of a black building here at the whole South Pacific. So, lots of drawings, but this drawing, the original name of our drawing is called Watu Uli Uli. Watu means our head, the upper half of our brain, that protects our brain slowly behind. So, with all our Watu Uli Uli, we are always using lime and grit. And there's most of our drawing, we don't even need line and grit too. But this custom drawing is a continuous drawing because you'll never do a mistake in drawing. If someone do a mistake, then someone sitting closer to any drawer must always throw a little dust on your drawing. That is to be telling you, today we found you, you are the loser, erase the whole thing, and start drawing the whole thing again. So this custom drawing is only a continuous drawing. The custom drawing of what you really is only done in a central part of Vanuatu, which is primarily Epi, Ankama, Malakula, Ampren, Pentecost, Tambai, and Maimo. And once upon a time, this drawing has been for each of our 83 islands altogether in the whole Vanuatu. So, the blackbirding time in the whole South Pacific. So, this is one of our Watu Uli Uli that talks about one of a very, very huge sailing boat that has been connecting many people in the whole South Pacific. And today, we are living in Australia. So here, we've been brought to Australia, first of all, during a time of cotton picking, to be picking up cottons. But whenever the pricing of cotton falls down in the world market, then somehow they switch very quickly to sugarcane, sugar slabs. And here, around 16th century, there has been one very, very huge sailing boat that arrived here in Vanuatu on an island called Ampren, on a place called Krakow. That is not Ampren. Whenever a very huge sailing boat arrives, but that was late evening. But yet, the people working lately up in the forest, cutting down trees, burning trees, because that was the only time they were planning a road trip, which is only our yam. Arriving there, then they took their little dinghy, little boat, went up to a shore looking for people. Arriving on the shore, but there has been few people yet around, including a very, very old man with a very long beard, all in gray, sitting in the midst of those few people. Now they decided to approach a very old man, and they told him, if you mind, then we'd like to take some of your friend down to a ship only, because now we are running out of freshwater on a ship. The very old man was too frightening to be telling them no in their faces. Then he did in action only by using two words, bring call and bring cow. And while watching the very naked people arriving on the deck of a very huge sailing boat, but there has been someone standing up there on the deck of a very huge sailing boat, then he told those very native people, someone is supposed to be doing payments of all your fruits, all your water, it simply means all of you now, native people, we have to go down to the bottom of our boat, because money, everything is down at the bottom, not up here. Whenever the goes down, started of ancient or broken cells going up, and that very huge thing runs away with it. So very, very late evening, whenever the people arrive, drinking their own cargo sometimes, then slowly they can recognize some busy faces. They looked at everybody and saw a very old man sitting there very, very quietly. And they approached him saying, well, we're very sure you've been here all day because you can't walk. So you should go ahead and open all those losing people. Now where's this person? He should be here already. And where's him? And where's her? The very old man bending down more than ever, now with tears slowly falling down, and he told them very subtly, up in here there's been a very huge sailing boat. They told me they're running out of fresh water. I know you'll be very angry with me, but I was too frightening. I don't know what to do. But I told them in a little way by using only two words. Bring calm, bring calm. And now I don't know where they're going. They were very, very angry, but they can't do anything. All my friends here in Vanuatu, deportation in Vanuatu, that we've been using, and we are still using, and will be using forever. That is only our ashes of fire. If I'd like to send someone forever, whenever the wind blows this way, then I'll be taking ashes of fire. Someone should be standing somewhere down there. The moment he sees me, then I'll be throwing my ashes up on the air, talking a language of deportation, then 3 blows across the head. Again, they told a very old man, we cannot do deportation because the ship has already been called many, many hours ago. But the last thing we can only do for last time is now, please describe what God has said in your own way. Draw it here in the dust. You have to do a deportation against your picture, shadow your own picture, you'll be slowly following them wherever they go. Very old man bending down, describe yourself. I've been seeing something like this, beautifully done, all in art, with 3 cells. Each elderly people, they took ashes in each hand, stand around the picture, and then blows across the picture, 3 blows, like, go, 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 you'll be going forever and ever. You will come back again, then we have to make sure to drown yourself in a customary way, or might will be eating in a customary way of going, because the cannibalism in Vanuatu, it stopped only during 1969, only last time. We are always fighting for land, we fight for a woman, and to become a very big ship. So this drawing is one of the evidence of a historical story of blackleading in the whole South Pacific. We, the people from Vanuatu, New Caledonia, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, Fiji, every Melanesian countries that we're here now, we are also living there in Australia. Those are the people that whenever they arrive there, they don't know how to communicate. Because lots of languages. They slowly will develop a Bislama, which is English. The meaning of the word Bislama means a very, very big soup of lots of different dialects with lots of flavors inside. So that is another meaning of the word Bislama. So, write it down here. So, this is one of our historical stories about blackleading here in the whole South Pacific, especially in Vanuatu. Okay, so thank you very much indeed. So, she's from Vanuatu. He's one of our blood-related. He was brought here. He's half Tana and half
Ambai Santa.
Ambai and Santa. So, can you introduce yourself to us? We'd like to know.
My name is Bosicum Amelda Davis, and I am Tana Ambai Santo descendant. My grandfather, Moses Tupai Inares, was taken from Tanauta. That's my mother's father. He was 12 years old when he was stolen off the beach. It's true story. And my great-grandmother, Sarah Buki Tora, was taken from Ambai. My great-great-grandmother was 14, and she was taken to be a house girl on a plantation in far north Queensland. My great-great-grandfather was taken from Santa to be a sugarcane cutter. And I don't even know, I think he's Aboriginal and South Sea, because he was placed on an Aboriginal mission. So we are descendants of some 60,000 men that were taken from Vanuatu, Solomons, Kiribati, Tuvalu, New Caledonia, Papua New Guinea, and Fiji. 60,000 from 1847, in the 1800s, 1847, starting with New South Wales. Has anyone been to Sydney? Yeah? You? Yeah? Nice. So, from Sydney, it started with Sydney, and then 1901. So over a 40-plus year period, they kept taking our people, just like today for seasonal work, yeah, to cut sugarcane in Australia, to work on cotton plantations, to work in fisheries, to work in bishnama, the sea cucumber, picking the sea cucumber, railways, building the infrastructure, building railways. Our people built Australia's rich economy in the 1800s. It's one of the richest countries in the world. We were the third largest sugar provider, bought to cut sugar cane and establish a sugar industry. And imagine young people like you, yeah, small boy, taken en masse, not just one, not just two. They took entire island populations of men, some women 5%, and children. And those children were babies as young as 8 years old. So the work I've done is on the shoulders of many South Sea Islanders that have gone for recognition for our people, to have a voice as a part of Australia and to advocate for our people. So we look at introducing our culture to Australia, because this is a shared history. It's 176 years since our people were taken from Vanuatu, Solomons, and all those islands that I mentioned. So if we're talking about the Pacific Step Up program and all of these wonderful things that are on offer from developed countries, we need to think about the contribution that we've made to a global economy. It's not even small, it's big, what our people have done for the world, in fact, because they trafficked us also all across the Pacific. It wasn't just to Australia. We're in Panama, we're in New Zealand, we're in Fiji, we're everywhere, yeah, as descendants. So that history is really important. We don't forget where we come from. It's a shared history. You can't change the past, but we can work better together, yeah? And that's what these stories are so important for us as cultural, customary practice, and important to make sure that we use that as our foundation. I'm also the first Australian South Sea Islander black woman on the City of Sydney Council. I was elected in 2021, and my first business was to have Australian South Sea Islanders recognised and Pacific nations as a part of the City of Sydney and the contribution that our people have made to the country. We've also won New South Wales recognition through Parliament to recognise our people in 2013 in contributing and apologise for the atrocities that occurred to our people, yeah, through that trade, and to recognise us us. We've had federal parliament debate Australian South Sea Islanders and the islands that we're taken from, in particular Vanuatu, and I guess acknowledge and respect that this was a slave trade. We can call it indentured labour, we can call it seasonal work, we can dress it up all you like, but if people are being exploited, it's a slave trade. It's one person's control over another. So what we're fighting for is transparency, good governance, how we manage that, and how do we have our say as a part of these relationships with the Pacific. Your Vanuatu High Commissioner here today has been formidable in fighting for the rights of your people, working with us because we work for seasonal workers, pastoral care, making sure that people are looked after. We try to look after, we try to hold governments accountable and say, hey, let's talk about this, let's work better together, you know? So the work that he's done in the last 4 years of being appointed to Australia has really changed the conversation for our Pacific labour or seasonal work, and hopefully we'll get a better relationship happening, yeah, and people will feel a bit stronger. And also it's not just about picking fruit, there's other opportunities. What are the pathways for our people? The world is big, yeah? Yeah, and we have a friendship here, country to country, people to people, Pacific labour, you know, Pacific one-salt war. It's really important that we take our place and sit at the table and have these conversations. So I look forward to working with all of you. And if you come to Sydney, look me up, or if you have a challenge, speak to your High Commissioner, and then we can help work together to make it better for everyone. Because human rights is an important issue for our people. And I know it sounds very political, but someone's got to